Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. It's time for another modification to Ruby. Now, many of you have suggested I should get a limited slip diff fitted to my Mini. But what is a limited slip diff? How do they work, and why should you have one fitted to your car? All questions I've asked myself. Well, I'm on my way to Quaife, who make diffs. They've invited me for a tour around their factory to find out everything there is to know about limited slip differentials. I'm then going to be picking up a limited slip diff and driving up to Lohen, and Lohen are then going to fit the diff to my Mini. So I reckon this should be a really interesting video. Okay, so I've driven all the way to Sevenoaks in Kent, parked up at Quaife, and there's a Lohen demo car parked next to me because I'm meeting Mark from Lohen here, because he's really interested to find out more about diffs and how you make them and why you should buy them and what they do and which one you should choose, and that is all that this film's about. We're actually visiting two Quaife sites today. The first one here at Sevenoaks is the smaller of the two sites. We're going to have a look around here, and then we're going to go to Gillingham, which is their big production facility, a really big factory apparently. So let's head on inside, meet up with Mark, and start finding out more about diffs. I'm really now, I am by trade a manufacturing engineer, so I'm probably going to get really kind of nerdy later when I see all the CNC machines and all that kind of stuff. But let's head on inside and meet the guys. So we've come inside to Quaife. I have my Quaife lanyard on, and the first thing, we're in their kind of showroom where we can see a whole range of their different products. Now, this video is all about limited slip diffs, but in here, one of the other things that Quaife are very well known for are gearboxes, and there's a whole range of different motorsport and racing derived gearboxes here. Most of them this kind of sequential gearbox, which is just so cool. Now, over here we've got somebody you will remember from my Lohen video. We've got Mark from Lohen, who's having a look around and finding out lots of things as well, and our host of the day, Dave from Quaife, who's going to be showing us around. We're just having a bit of a look at some gearboxes, and I'm finding out lots and lots of things, like why a dog box is called a dog box, and what the inside of a sequential gearbox looks like. So we're now inside the production facility here at Sevenoaks. I said it's a bit smaller than the one we're going to afterwards, but I'm surrounded by CNC machines, there's manual machines, there's a whole bunch of really cool manufacturing processes. And you walk around here and these guys are making everything from the actual gears to shafts. The processes are really amazing. And we're just kind of talking through how long it takes, even just to make something as simple as a gear that goes in a gearbox, and the number of processes you go through, from cutting the billet to start with, to manufacturing, or to machining all of the teeth, to getting all of the various different chamfers and deburring. It then have to go off to heat treatment, which isn't done here. Then they come back and they get another bunch of work done. So it is absolutely amazing. And you just got buckets of swarf lying around. The skill level of the guys operating the machines, absolutely fascinating. Loving it. So when these gears come off of the machine, they need deburring, and that's what that machine's doing basically. Stick them in, then it takes all the rough edges off them and smooths them out. It's mesmerising. Sit there. Every now and again you get one pop up, disappear back underneath all of those little things. Right, and so this is Dave from Quaife.
Hi there.
And this is a little kind of internals model of a diff. Now, we're going to try and keep this very simple, because what I've learned so far is
there's an awful lot you can really go off on one about this.
Yeah, we can go quite deep into it. But.
So I guess first things first, kind of we'll start from Janet and John does why you need one of these. I guess if you think about the front wheels of a car, when you go around a corner, the outside wheel is going to have to travel further than the inside wheel. So they can't be joined together on a fixed axle, otherwise you wouldn't be able to go around corners. So so basically, if you don't have anything in the middle, that's how you go around corners. Problem with that is, if you go around a corner, if one of the wheels loses traction, then the power and the torque will just be lost. It will just spin round.
With a standard open diff, as soon as you lose traction, all the power is going to go to that one wheel, find the easiest route out, and then that power is wasted.
So you still go around the corner, but you can't utilise all the power when you go around the corner.
Correct, yeah.
So what this does is it helps feed that power. Instead of losing it from just spinning the wheel, it helps it feed through to the other wheel, the driven wheel.
Correct.
And we've got a number of different types of diff. Now I refer to this as a limited slip diff, which is fine, but there's a few different types.
It's a minefield when you get
technically into it. So this is what's going to be going on the Mini, or obviously not this one. And this is a...
So that's a pinion.
A pinion.
Yeah, and then you've got your side gears here. So this is known as a torque biasing diff. So
torque
an
biasing
ATB
diff.
torque biasing diff.
Okay. So you've got it sat in the car like that.
Yep, correct.
And if you were just going in a straight line, it would just be spinning round.
Yeah, like so the pinion is rotating the crown wheel, which is obviously bolted onto this face here, and then it's just rotating. So 70 miles an hour on a motorway, the diff is just rotating, the body of the diff is just rotating.
And then if you start to lose, now this is where it starts to be difficult to show you on camera, but I will do my best. If you start to lose grip on one side, then that starts to spin round. And
correct.
If I can do that, and just, it's quite cool actually, this little model. It's sort of driving the, oh there we go.
Okay.
So these pinions here are taking the torque from here and feeding it across into the other side.
Correct, yeah, so they're feeding it, so from this drive shaft that's slipping, if you like, is feeding it through to this pinion, which in turn feeds it into this pinion here, and then into the opposite side gear to drive the opposite wheel.
So so these ones, the great thing about these ones is once you fit them, you don't have to service them or
complete
rebuild
fit and forget, no rebuild, no wearing parts.
Now the other thing, some of you might be fully up on your diff spiel. You've got a plate diff is the other type. Now that's kind of the more motorsport bias.
Yeah, so they work on friction. You have clutch plates in there. They are a serviceable item, so you'll see touring cars, that level of motorsport will tend to use them more. But yeah, you have to service them a couple of times a season. Some people service them after every race, just depending on.
Because I had a few people go, "Oh, you want to put a plate diff in the Mini?" And I'm like, "Ooh," and I'm now learning that that's fine. And there's certain things they're very good at.
Yes,
but for a road car,
for a road car, I'd never recommend. And we own Tronics as well. We make plate diffs. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend one for a road car.
So once this is fitted, then the idea is you're basically, especially in cornering, you're able to put the power down much more effectively than you would do with an open diff.
Correct.
Which is standard in a normal front wheel drive
so
car.
We've done some tests previously where at Alton Park there was around a 3 second a lap gain just by swapping over to an ATB.
So not tuning the car.
Nothing was different. The gearbox was swapped over in the lunch break. They swapped it over, left the car exactly the same. It was actually slightly damper in the afternoon, and there was a 3 second a lap difference.
Really? Because I guess when you're doing your modifications, like I've done the engine modifications, and I've done that, and then kind of come on to the diff. Now clearly there's a cost associated with buying this and fitting it and so on, but it's such a crucial thing. And I have to say, this model, I'm going to do this one. Look at that. That's just the coolest thing. So I reckon we go over to the other factory and see where these things are put together and made.
Yeah, excellent.
Wicked. Thank you very much for that.
No problem at all.
I kind of hope that it's quite complicated. I hope that was like a simpler thing. So the reason, to summarise, the reason you put one of these in your car is to basically maximise being able to put the power down.
Yeah, there's no point in getting a remap, getting more power to the car if you can't put it down.
Yeah. And would this help with torque steer, or?
It'll help with torque steer, it'll help with braking, tyre wear, obviously. So there are some additional benefits, not just being able to use the power, but yeah, you're going to reduce your tyre wear. You're actually going to increase your braking efficiency by having an ATB, because even when you're braking, if the wheel is still rotating as you're braking, it actually will bias the torque to the opposite wheel as well.
Cool.
So
because they only deal with torque, they don't deal with speed.
correct. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for that.
Pleasure.
Right, let's go to the other factory.
Yep.
Wicked.
Excellent.
Cheers.
So we arrived at Quaife's other site near Gillingham, and the first port of call, these bars are the raw materials that are used to make the little pinion gears. And the first machining process here basically cuts them up into these little billets. So these will then go off to the gear cutter and have the gear teeth cut on them, but that's the first part of my diff being made. So the little blank billets for the pinions now come to this machine, and they're basically gravity fed from here into that CNC drilling machine to have their gears cut. Every 1 minute 14 seconds one drops out onto this little table. Really cool. So what we got now is a little pinion gear. How cool is that? So this milling machine is basically turning that blank billing into one of those. So that is the end plate of a diff. Now this is actually a diff from a Fiesta ST, but the diff in my Mini is not going to look a million miles different to that, but just a stunning bit of engineering. The amount of work that goes into making one of these is really taking me aback. Mega bit of kit this though. What a machine. So this machine is taking again the kind of blank billet and making that centre gear that we saw on the demo piece. So basically we can have a look in here. Got it cutting away in there. Brilliant to watch. And then they've got a little test rig just here to make sure that the gears mesh properly. Really interesting. So what we've got here are actually some assembled diffs that are going on to Fiesta STs actually. But this machine here basically checks all the measurements, make sure every surface and everything is within tolerance. Actually for the ST ones, every single part is checked, which I just find absolutely amazing. Yeah, the quality checks, the detail here, it's just incredible. The level of work just to go through making each component part is immense, but once you start adding that all together and actually assembling them into a completed diff, it's incredible. So this is Jack from Quaife, and Mark and I are about to watch some diffing right now. This is important to you because these are coming to Lohen. These are actually a Lohen order, so we're going to basically watch how you assemble a diff with all the various gears. So I reckon this should be very interesting. Off you go, dude.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right, you get your right hand side gear first. Obviously there's an orientation for that. That's where the circlip sits inside the drive shaft normally. Yeah. So it's very important you put them around like the correct way round.
Yeah. Or
you're going to have issues. It's also important that the right hand side gear goes down. You put the left hand down first, you get like torque steer, things like that. It's to do with the orientation of the crown wheel gears. Yeah, then you put right hand side gear, left hand pinion.
And the most impressive thing is, there's none left over.
If I've done my maths correct, there shouldn't be any left over.
Now the centre, what's that called, the centre block?
Yeah, the centre block, these go in next. They house the spring housing, and then you have like a little spring pack that keeps everything in tension. So it stops it, you don't need it, but it stops everything from rattling around and sort of gives a little bit of preload to the differential. They go in next. Yeah, then these are our springs. They go in an orientation which is unique to our diff. They go like that, there's 6.
Oh wow.
So then they go in. And that's how they sit. And then the top one goes on. It's very important that they're lined up parallel. Spring housing. Make sure they're all central.
Yeah.
And the right hand pinion.
Right hand pinions.
and then the left-hand sun gear. Right, that's all then.
Empty boxes, no bits left over.
No bits left over. Hopefully not. And then obviously you get your lid, get your dowel, line up with your dowel hole. And you locate it on that. So that. That's all evenly round.
Yeah.
Easily pull down. So you get some M8. Pull down box come out.
Right.
3 new ones go in with the Scotch grip.
Yeah.
Flying, so we put on that. Yeah, it's all in. Then we put the other spline in. And turn it 2 or 3 times so it feels both directions.
That's just to make sure all the
Just to make sure
internals
it's all
are
good.
working.
Give another go, have a go.
Yeah.
It doesn't say much, does it?
No. So what do you think of that then, mate?
I'm amazed by that.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
The thing that's amazed us both is the amount of work in terms of machining time, man hours, testing, measuring, assembly. It's incredible.
Yeah, the guys can't even put a number of hours per diff, machining time and assembly time on each diff. I think that's the bit that gets me.
And these are all off to you guys.
They
They're
are.
fit into cars just like mine. Right, we are back where we started in the little demo room. I have to say, a massively interesting day.
Hugely.
It's just been to see all the processes, to see the basics from just what a diff did when we were here this morning to kind of all the manufacturing. Really impressive. The attention to detail and quality is brilliant.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so massive thank you to,
My pleasure.
to
Thank
you
you.
guys here for the tour. But we have something very special in this box. This, yes, quite waiting. So this is the diff for my car. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take this, drive up north a few hours.
We've got 4 hours to go.
Yeah, and then come and visit you at Lohen, and we're going to fit this to Ruby Roadster. So yeah, it should make a big difference.
Yeah.
We know why we're fitting it now.
Yeah.
We know how it works.
Yeah.
And we know how it's made.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let us know how you get on.
I will, very much so.
Interested to hear your thoughts and see
Yeah.
what difference it makes to the car.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I'm quite excited to unpack it as well. I'll leave that till.
Are you leaving that with me or are you taking that with you?
I'll take it.
Bedside ornament.
We've even got goodie bags as well.
Yes, there's a goodie bag in there. There's t-shirt, stickers, lanyards,
Oh,
bits and
look
pieces.
at that. Thank you
Alright.
very much.
Pleasure.
So, I'm going to draw this video to a close, but you need to stay tuned. But if you've enjoyed this, give me a big thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol for plenty more content to come. Again, a huge thank you to all
Pleasure.
the guys here at
Not a problem
Quaife.
at all.
Brilliant.
Thank you for coming to see us.
Mark, thank you for lining it all up as well.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you in a couple of days.
Can't
We
wait.
should be fitting this to Ruby Roadster. But I'll see you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe.